All right.
So this will be an easy conversation with you guys. So we've been talking about like what makes you most passionate about construction and like just, so for me, it's like we walk in here, there's 80 people here. You guys have been here since the very beginning, but like, these 80 people all come from different places. They all ended up in this industry in a different way. Like the diversity of that is like really cool to me, because it's like we just had, one of your people that came from higher education and I came from technology and, people come from all different places. Like, and I don't think, unless it's a, generational family business, like most people don't grow up saying like, I want to be in this position or in this industry, right? It's like, just kind of find your way there through friendships or relationships or, and all of your people seem to have come from, knowing you guys forever or church but like, there's what I think is so cool is like how different everybody is in their personalities, their backgrounds, their journeys to get here, but like the foundational elements of what makes them the same. And like, I talk about myself, like spending time in a corporate career for, as long as I did in my early adult life. My dad was a steel worker, and so this was what was normal to me. Like from the minute that I walked into the industry, like the first week I was on the job, it felt like home. Just the people. It was like, these people are my people. Like they're, like I don't want to use the word normal because it makes other people seem abnormal, but like just like felt like these are my people. Like I can get along with these people. They're like me. So the question is like, what are you most passionate about this industry and like what makes it like special and unique for you?
Are you looking at me to answer first?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not passionate about the industry. I'm passionate about the possibilities for myself and others that it took me decades to actually unfold. It took God decades to open my mind enough to understand that that is actually what we have here. We have unlimited possibilities. And I've always cared more about the people than any of the outcomes or any of the process to get to the people. But the way I got into it was literally through some logic, which is very strange for me because I'm very spontaneous. But I chose paving because per hour spent, I could supply for her and the family the best way possible, still be able to take Saturdays off. It was just logic to me. On the weekdays when I needed to go coach a team at 4 or 4:30 or 5 o'clock, it means I needed to finish at 2 or 3 to prepare for that. Well, what kind of business could I do that I could leave at 2 o'clock and not have to work 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, every week, week in, week out, and 6 days a week? What would that be? And so construction, we had kids real early. So I was kind of forced into it in a way because of some of the things that I knew from my father teaching me, and I knew the possibilities were there for me. And so it's like, oh, I can go do that. I can go learn that. That's simple enough, simplistic enough. And then I ended up understanding I could make money at it. But the reason I chose paving is because per hour spent, I could have the other life I needed.
Isn't it interesting to think about that? Because it's like you could have been in a million different places, right? Yeah. Like, with different knowledge creates different opportunities.
Correct.
It's like what was around you, that was what you saw was the best option, and like that's what led you to it. And now, look at how many relationships, how many friendships, how many memories are attached to. And I would answer the question the same. I didn't think of it that way, but like, it's not. Like, I'm very passionate about this industry now because of the people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think any of us like fall in
provides.
love with tar and rocks.
Yeah.
It's like,
No.
but like at the end of the day, I'm so
Laundry.
passionate about it because of, people like you guys have become like family to me. And like, that's our whole life now. It's like, it's been built on this foundation of like just good, hardworking, blue collar people that like care about their families and want to provide for them. And they found this place where there's other people just like us that want to do the same thing. And when we do that together, it's like, You know, I kind of joke around on the show all the time and say, like, most days I can't believe I get paid to do this because it's enjoyable. It doesn't mean there's not problems, but there's problems everywhere. But the perspective I have is like, I'm gonna face problems no matter what. If I really love this and I love the people I get to do it with, man, what a gift. You know?
Yeah. And then from the possibility standpoint, what I've realized recently is that there's not very many industries. I shouldn't say that probably because I haven't been I haven't been close to a lot of other industries. But construction is one where you can add zeros really fast. And you can get yourself in a lot of trouble really fast and then go figure it out, right? That's the entrepreneurial spirit. And you can add zeros and you can take those ones and twos, you can take them to eights and nines really fast. But where else can you do that? There's probably some place, you know, Elon Musk did it somehow. Like, I don't understand that guy. But I understand in construction, you can take those numbers up really fast. And there is financial opportunity here. But more than that, there's growth opportunity. Because, like, for real world impact. Because, honestly, who our audience is. Our audience in this industry comes from, man, I don't want to say, like, it's a lower class, but often, like I did, I got in construction because I wasn't going to go get a higher education. I had started having kids. I can't go to college. Well, construction is where I landed because I should have. I needed a good job. And if the people out there in the world are in that place, that's not a disadvantage anymore.
No.
That's an advantage. And the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, you could come from anywhere and be successful.
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
That's a positive, right? Like you said, it's like it's opportunity for anybody, and especially, you know, the second chance folks, and, you know, the people that feel like, man, what am I going to do now? It's like, come on over here. If you're a good person with good work ethic, you're willing to put in the work, you can build you can build a great life for yourself here. How about you?
Well, I agree with Keith. It's not the industry that brings the passion. It's really the passion for people. And as you know, when people ask what I do, I'm first and foremost a wife, and then I'm a mom, and then I'm a grandma, and then, I work in this company that we happen to own, that happened to survive for 40 years. But for me now, it really is passion for people. My job as a mom, as I was saying out in the other room with them, is that my passion was to be a mom. And I grew up, I'm sad for women these days because they think they either have to be here as a women liber, I can stand up, I can open the door myself, how dare you treat me like I can't do this for myself, or they think it's the other side of, I'm just a stay-at-home mom that can't do anything for myself. And a stay-at-home mom, you have to do a lot. You have to do everything. You have to multitask.
They wear way more hats than we do. That's
my goodness. I never could do it.
And because of the women's movement as a whole, it's actually taken the power of women away. There's a beauty that I have in submitting to my husband, that I can rest in the safe haven of him, and I can work with him every day and still know he's going to 100% protect me. And that guys have a place in our life to protect us, because that's how God made them. And so my passion is twofold. Is one, for the women in construction to know that we do have power. As I've told many people, my favorite line is from Big Fat Greek Wedding. We are the neck that turns the head. And I am happy to be there. I am happy to rest there, because you know what? That head protects everything else. And without the support of the spouses, the significant others, there is no neck to hold that head. And I'm proud to do that, to give him the strength and the power and the energy to keep going on a daily basis, to say, I can do this. Because you know what? It benefits me, and I don't have to make some of those decisions. Mm-hmm. But also, the other part for us in the industry now and in our company is a second chance employment. There are so many of our employees that have come from jail and from bad situations that they haven't had anyone that gives them a good example. And most of my time, I often say, I'm probably going to go to jail someday myself for the things I say to my employees. It's because literally one guy, he was telling me the job he had before, and he said, yeah, my old boss, after work, we'd all go stop at the 7-Eleven and buy a 6-pack, sit out in the parking lot and drink beers. And I looked at him and I said, you are an absolutely horrible father. And he goes, oh, I am not. I said, do you not think that your kids know you just sat out there and drank a 6-pack? I said, that's horrible. Is that what you want them to do?
Precious minutes that they could have had.
Yes. And he just looked at me and he said, no one has ever said that to me. I never even thought about that.
You're welcome.
And
Yes.
yeah, and I've said the same things about being a spouse when some of the guys have argued with me about certain things, an issue went wrong or they didn't get what they expected and they're like, can I talk? Absolutely, I will always talk to you. And they start on the issue, I'm like, no. We're going to talk about the communication first. If you talk to your wife that way, you're not going to have a wife in 2 years, if she lasts that long. If you want to talk, let's talk in a way that we can actually communicate to each other that's respectful. And they're like, well, no one told me I couldn't do that. And people are afraid to stand up for the right way to do things. And you have to have the confidence. And for me, I am the youngest girl in a family of 8 kids. So confidence is not actually something that comes very easy for me. But if it's a passion, I will fight all day long for that. And that's what I want people to have a passion for, to know the confidence, how God made them and what he made them for. And to be brave enough to say that. And I will go to jail someday for what I believe in because I'm not going to step down. And that's one of the things that is the passion in me is if it's right, it's right. And if I say I believe it, I'm going to believe it wholeheartedly and I will fight to death to stand up for it. And people don't have that in them anymore. The generation below us think that I have to be nice and kind and agree with you, because if I don't agree with you, I hate you. And that's just so wrong. There's great diversity, but I can believe passionately about something that you believe the total opposite, and that's okay too. But I will always go head to head and challenge it. And that's something in the last few years that I've grown into in being full-time and in the mix of everything, is that I've had to learn how to have confidence and fight for what I believe in. And just sometimes it's okay to say, because I know it's right. I'm not going to explain to you why, but I know it's right.
The sky is blue.
Yes.
We're not going to debate it.
We're not
right?
going to debate.
Listen, first of all, you didn't know you were getting taken to church this morning, huh? When you stepped up in here, but it's the truth. It's like, and this is what I believe, you guys are so important to. Like, it's what our industry needs. Like, because there is so much excusing of bad behavior. Well, because it's construction, it's like, no. Like,
No.
you don't get to talk to your wife that way.
No.
No matter where you live, no matter what you do, no matter what, there's
Correct.
right is right and wrong is wrong. And, well, thank you guys. That was great.
You're welcome.
That was great. Great.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to
I
clip
know.
all that.
I know.
Like,
I thought I would get another chance to speak, but you know what? I'm good. I'm good.
Sorry, you got me on a subject.